We've all heard of the story Cinderella and her adoptive mother and stepsisters. The story Cinderella is one of my stories, our stories, that has been stripped from us, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. The divine masculine and the divine feminine, known as the galactic prince and princess. Our stories has been removed from the books of history and rewritten as fairy tales. The story of Cinderella is one of our stories. The movie Fallen is one of our stories. The children's film Rapunzel, also one of our stories. Snow White and The Notebook, also our stories rewritten as fairy tales. I will be suing the fuck out of Disney and the other film industry that has rewritten our stories without our approval. I would know this because watching those films, I had past flashbacks of past timelines. And there are many other movies as well and films as well. Now, for those who aren't aware, I was adopted into a family who lived in poverty. My stepsisters and my grandmother hated the ground that I walked on because I am of royalty. I was mistreated and laughed at for being different and unique with special abilities and talents. I was mocked and lied on. My grandmother used to slave me. She would send me to do the most. She would have me to do the most house chores. She even gave me to other women in the community and had me cleaning their homes for 5 shekels, which is no more than $1 or a bit less than $1. I was cleaning the houses of women as a young child and a teenager. They laughed at me. They had the royal princess cleaning the filthy, disgusting houses of her own peasants. And they would get a good laugh from that. They laughed. Now, these two fucked up looking characters, Yo Eli and Kim Diaz Scott. What the fuck is a Yo Eli and what the fuck is a Kim Diaz? That isn't even in the Hebrew dictionary. Your names have no meaning. I see why you look like the way you do. They were envious of my beauty because my beauty exudes purity. They were jealous of my innocence. They were jealous and envious of my talent. I used to be a singer. I used to be a vocalist. When I was younger, I had a voice of a siren. Very beautiful. I could hit high notes. It was just amazing. But that was stripped from me. My grandmother and her sisters did spell work, and my stepsisters, they did magic, spell work, in order to strip me away from that gift, that ability that I had to be a singer, to be a vocalist. Currently, today, I am working on getting my vocals back to where they were. However, who walks around proud of that name? Who the fuck walks around proud of those names? As I mentioned, that isn't even in the books, in the dictionary. Back to what I was saying. Back to the story. My grandmother spoiled her daughters, and I was outcast. She spoiled her sons, and I was outcast. My grandmother was very abusive, that she would beat me almost daily over small things. Her daughter, the Yoela, would sit up and laugh as I was getting beat, and my grandmother would love to put on a show for her. Her daughters slandered my name while smiling in my face. They would do a smear campaign assassinating my character, spreading false rumors about me. They got the best of everything. They always had the best of everything, while I got the leftovers and the scraps and scrapes. She favored them over myself. They would gather together down talk me. Once they reached a certain age, she introduced them to magic. They, along with other members of my adopted family, would practice magic to cause me illness, misfortune, and bad luck within my life. They did not want me to awaken to my purpose. My grandmother used my power against me. That draconian reptilian that has possessed her soul was able to do so due to a sexual blinding spell it cast upon me during my early childhood. This spell allowed it to harness my power and use it against me. They used my power to manifest abundance while I was broke. My grandmother constantly took her daughter's side after each fight we had. And I would be the one punished for not allowing them to push over or mistreat me. I got punished. When I got kicked out 2013, my grandmother tried to secretly replace my presence. She tried to secretly replace me as their mother with her stepdaughter, Yoela. With her youngest stepdaughter, Yoela. I watched from social media how she would play house with my twin girls, dressing them and showing them off as if they were her own. She had her youngest daughter mothering my twin daughters, but whenever I came around, they would automatically detach from her. They would automatically detach from her and run to who they know is their true mother. My grandmother hated that because she tried to replace me. I've always been their mother, and they know it. My grandmother also went as far as trying to switch my twins' identity at birth. I knew who each twin was based on the side they were in my womb. Baby A was born last and baby B was born first. She tried to convince me the opposite. She even went as far as renaming my twins the other twin name, trying to convince me and everyone else that they are the opposite names. That they are the opposite person, they are the opposite twin. This went on for the first few years of their lives. My daughter would say, I'm Yafa. And I hear my grandmother correct her, telling her that she is the other twin, Yafia. My twins are smart. And one thing I love about them, they take their mother's word. So they did. They didn't allow my grandmother to rename them the opposite names so long as I told them who they were. We won in the end, and she hated me for allowing her not to manipulate me and my daughter's existence. My grandmother knew my destiny. The people of the Hebrew Israelite community, they knew my destiny. The people of the secret cult within the Hebrew community, they knew my destiny. They tried to make me useless, washed away, washed up. This is why I was sex trafficked as a child. I was treated as property. My grandmother and her husband and her family I was an investment for their family. They sold out royalty for their own gain of selfishness. Of course they were jealous. Although I was unaware of my destiny, they were aware. They knew that one day I was to meet my prince, the galactic prince. What they didn't know is that he had eyes on me since I was a child. He practically watched me grow up behind the scenes. They didn't know that he knew what was going on within my life and how he protected me. Oh yeah, y'all didn't know? Now you do. You see, he's more powerful than I am. So he will guide me through my intuition until the day he led me to him. Year 2020, when I met him for the first time. They couldn't kill me due to his protection along with the protection of my ancestors. They plotted to guide men into my life in order to impregnate me, hoping the more men I slept with and had children by, my twin flame would find me distasteful due to the amount of baby daddies, the amount of baby fathers that I have. They thought that my father, Ra Ben Ami Carter, would leave me unprotected, not knowing that my twin flame, who is my half brother, has been instructed to protect me and initiate me. So while I was being gang stalked, he had his people keeping an eye on the gang stalkers who were watching me. They were being watched as they were watched. I was being watched as they were being watched, is what I meant to say. I was being watched by them, and they were being watched by other people. Hey, come on now, ancestors. So, when I was being gang stalked, and people were keeping an eye on me, you were being watched as well. Y'all was being watched as well. At this point, you should all be feeling like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, when she finally met the mastermind behind the curtains. Yes, they were all being watched. Everyone were being tested as I was going through my initiation to receive my royal galactic birthright. You were all being tested. You all failed. You fell. In the end, I shall receive my birthright. In the end, I will receive my children. In the end, I will experience true love. In the end, my children will experience their mother being loved on the right way, and vice versa. In the end, we will be one big happy family. In the end, you will watch, all of you, who played a part. You will watch as I live, as we live our best life. You will watch. May it eat you up for life. May my success, may our success, may our happiness, may our joy, may our contentment, may it all eat you up for life. Karma is not a bitch. She is what you make it. She either going to be justice or judgment. In this case, it's karmic judgment. I've spoken. Thank you all for joining me. Ashe.